Good morning.
Again, with our chatting.
Yes. Well, we're not neighbors, so this is the only way. That's right. And it's too hard when you're in the store. You're busy.
I am running around like crazy usually
That's
on
right.
days.
No. This is, and we would never just take a whole hour and talk on Zoom because that would waste time.
We wouldn't get anything done.
That's
It would
right.
turn into longer. It
That's
would
right.
definitely turn into longer. Good morning to all of our friends. And we got some friends over on Instagram. You can see the top of my phone that's doing Instagram too. So we got a bunch going on. Hopefully everybody stayed safe if you're in the area with the storms and the tornado warning watch.
Today's such a gloomy day today. Ay, ay, ay.
Yes. Let's see. Amanda says, could all those earthbound spirits in Chicago have some influence in the high level of violence there?
Well, they're any earthbound spirits that liked that lifestyle are going to fly right to that and just keep it going because look at the energy they're getting from that. It's huge. I had to do the building that the St. Valentine's Massacre was done in. And there were still ghosts hanging out in there from July 4th or February 14th, Valentine's Day. That was like 50 years ago.
Wasn't there something similar that happened in Boston? Like some sort of like mafia, like killing
any big city had. I mean, New York City was terrible. Cleveland was terrible. I mean, that's where we had good old Elliot Ness here.
We have the torso murders.
That's right.
Here in Cleveland.
Which is supposedly United States' first serial killer.
Oh, who was that? Was that the torso
killer? Yeah.
I feel like I have failed my true crime fandom here.
Yeah, that's what they said, that was in the United States. You had the not Boston, Jack the Ripper in London, but the United States, they're saying the torso murderer was the first serial killer.
I know Cleveland had the first traffic light.
Yep, there's a lot of firsts in Cleveland, believe me. Some of them not so good, but there's still some of them.
We have some good takeaways.
That's right.
Not our sports teams, but we have other things. It's always next year is our
right.
Our anthem. Renee's bragging that it's sunny and 62 there.
Oh, lucky you, Renee.
And it is, and I kind of put it up there, like Swifty and Gav Talkins. May the 4th be with you today. And had I been thinking ahead of time, I would have designed a new little background with some sort of Star Wars-esque and ghosty background.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Star Wars, May the 4th, May the Force. Let's May the 4th.
Yeah, okay. Nope, right over my head.
Moving on.
Because I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
You watched any Star Wars? I'm not a big Star Wars fan, and I've seen most of them.
That's a lie. I think Ted and I took the girls when the first one, they were little because they each had to have one of those sticks that lit up then so they could fight with one another.
Oh, the lightsaber.
Yeah, that lasted about 17 minutes before I took them away. So.
See, I would have had one of my own and like joined in.
Yeah.
And then we have to watch out for Revenge of the 5th instead of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh golly. Okay, I'll put that on my calendar. Not.
So Amanda has, asking if anybody's read Spiritual Cleansing yet, and how did you like it? And I think that's going to be great for book club.
Book club. I got a call. Some lady wanted to know if she could buy the book the day of the book club. And I said, well, sure. I said, I'm sure you can. I said, but you're not going to be able to be in on the discussion because that's the book we are going to discuss with the whole group. So it's works out sort of better if you read the book before you come. I mean, I think that would almost be worth it to do it. And it's a small book. It's not very big.
No, it's pretty thin and it's an
thin.
easy read.
Yeah, it really is.
We've never had this question before. Do earthbound chefs tend to cause trouble at restaurants?
Yeah, especially if they didn't like the chefs in the competition restaurants. They will go make problems for chefs that were giving them problems when they were alive. So yeah, they same personalities. If you're going to get even with somebody, you can do it when you're a ghost, that's for sure.
Let's see. Coins and Ghouls says, good morning. I had an overnight at the 1858 Garnet Hotel this weekend and caught some amazing photos. I want to share. What's the email again? And I am looking for the banner. Honestly, if you just send it to goddesselitellc@gmail.com, I'll get them and put them up because I don't have the banner ready for the podcast one. I wonder where that went. When I'm not the only one that uses the streaming service, things happen.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Let's see, a lot of Star Wars back and forth. Now, Marianne, what is your 5:30 today on?
It is murders. I can't believe how many people wrote in about loved ones being murdered. So it's about murders. And nobody seemed to, oh, jeez, oh man. No, Rhonda. Nah. I think that did anybody have a problem or did anybody look at the pictures of the ghosts last week on Wednesday afternoon? People didn't seem to, I think people that commented seemed to like them, but I don't know if there were any questions about that.
I honestly, I was helping somebody learn to maneuver. And I almost felt bad for her because I'm like, if we're going to do the test in my car, we're going to use my car. So she's trying to maneuver this 2021.
How many times are you going to have to take her out, you think?
We're going to go again today and we'll see. She's feeling but at first too, she's like, I don't think I'll need to. And I'm like, let's just go do it. I'm already here. And when we got out there, she's like, oh.
Well, I don't know how to do that. Right.
Yeah. So, the cones are only like 9 feet apart. And I'm like, I knew my Durango was big, but so she doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle room. And I'm like, if you can nail it in this Durango, you got it in any other vehicle. So I was helping
do that
navigate when your video came out. I'm glad they were cones.
Yeah, right. Nothing else. You got it. So you were the one jumping out of the car and putting the cones back up?
I only had to do that once.
Okay.
There was a couple little bumps, but and I'm sure everybody who's had youngins learning to drive when they get themselves so just goobered in there and they're saying, like, pull out and start again. I'm like, not only you not straight, but you are trying to correct and
correct a thing you can't. Right, you can't do it.
But after about an hour or so, she was really good to the left. You do that like butter. It was to the right that would always get her. And I'm like, are you left or right-handed? She's like left-handed. I'm like,
probably right. That's right.
And I'm like, and your luck, they're going to ask you to do it to the right. So keep doing the right. She's like, oh. Let's see. Somebody did see the pictures. Renee wants to know how often law enforcement contacts you to help.
Depends. You have to understand that it's just not Cuyahoga County, Cleveland that calls. It's from all over. Sometimes it's just, how should we try this or can we do that? But and with COVID, that put a halt to doing anything for law enforcement agencies outside of my general area. But yeah, and that's actually one of the things that we're talking about on the YouTube tonight. Just because you want me to help do something, solve a murder, can't do it without law enforcement being involved. So
Gotcha. Let's see. Eugene asks, Marianne, have you ever mentored anyone who would want to become a medium? Looking for one.
I do not mentor anybody because I don't know how to have somebody, I don't know how to teach somebody how to see a ghost. Either you can or you can't. So, and being that I'm not a medium, I wouldn't have a clue how to do it.
Right. There is a difference between these two types of spirits. Mediums talk to those that have crossed over. Earthbound spirits that Marianne sees, that is not mediumship. Two different types of abilities.
Two different abilities, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, for everybody new joining us, including over on Instagram, feel free to ask questions about earthbound spirits, negative energy, ghost portals, fairies, Marianne. We're answering live. I can't put Instagram up on the screen because it's two different devices, but I'll read it out loud for you. Let's see here. There was another question. How many funerals do you attend, like on average, weekly, monthly?
Before COVID, I could have gone to 3 a day, 7 days a week. A lot of people die. But I would pick and choose. And by narrowing it down to you have to be an immediate family member to invite me to come, because there's too many nosy neighbors that want me to come and ask questions, which is none of their business. Mm-hmm. And so that's cut it down. I can do it. Funeral homes are open again, but during COVID, I did do some on Zoom or by phone. So, but yeah, I think it's so important to ask your questions, the people that you love before they die, because you're not going to, how many times are you going to be able to get it after they die?
True. Heather asks, if a person is murdered outdoors, can a portal be opened there? Just not sure if portals exist outdoors or only indoors.
Heather, I've never seen a portal outside, so I don't know. I've made the white light outside for earthbound spirits to go through, but I have never seen a portal outside. I've always seen them within a structure. But if you think about it, portals are blown open with really negative energy. It's too open outside. It would disperse. It wouldn't be encapsulated like it is in a house where it's going to go into a wall and blow open a portal. So, I'm not saying it isn't possible. Now, I saw one in a cave once, but that really wasn't outside.
True, because it's enclosed.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Paula says, Marianne, how do I schedule a Zoom with you, as I truly believe I have some unwelcomed guests in my house? And you do that here. But it is not a personal one-on-one. You join in with, was it 24 other people? It is $20. You have to be in the location that you have questions about, meaning you can't be at work on break asking about your house that you are not in. You get to ask a couple of questions, 2 questions. It can be about if you have earthbound spirits in your house, if you have a portal, or if you have negative energy. So you can guess 2 out of 3. Marianne will answer those for you. But Marianne is not doing private Zoom sessions because she would never get to leave her house.
I can't even, no, not happening.
So the next one coming up is on Friday the 13th. How fun is this?
This will be good.
We have like 6 spots open right now. So if you are thinking of attending, I would go do that sooner than later. It never fails the day before and the day of. I get tons of phone calls and emails at my store wanting to know why the link is broken and they can't book. Well, it's not broken. It's full. It will not allow you to book when it's full. So join in before you miss out.
And remember your time differences. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in California, that's 4:30 p.m. your time. So think about that too. I mean, we can't do it much later than 7:30 because if we've got 25 people in, it's close to 10 before we're done. And that's if we did it any late. Oh no. Mm-mm. I don't exactly turn into a pumpkin at 10 o'clock, but it's close.
We
So
used to do 30, and just having those 5 extra people, there were a couple times it was like 11 o'clock at night.
oh, I know. And you can't expect people to wait that long. That's actually some of the gripes that I've heard is that, oh, you wait too long. I can't stay that long. What can I say?
Right.
We
Right.
can only do what we have available to do.
That's right. Dawn asks, what's the best way to tell if someone is still earthbound or has passed over, crossed over?
The best way to tell is a dream. If you dream of somebody that has died and they look good and they look healthy, they are where they're supposed to be. Earthbound spirits cannot get in dreams. Now, but keep this in mind. Say grandma died and you've never had a dream of grandma, but your sister has. As long as somebody has had a good dream of whatever relative you're looking for, that means that they've crossed over. If you have bad dreams about somebody that died, that is not them in your dream. That is you having a dream about them, which is totally different.
Now, Amanda says she sometimes sees shadow people. Are
Yep,
they the same?
right. And shadow people can be earthbound or ones that have crossed over. That is pure energy and it is how you are viewing them. And to some people, they look like shadow people. And just because they're dark and they, shadow, doesn't mean they're bad. It just, that's how you're viewing them.
And then there's the whole dimensional thing, right?
Yeah, but shadow people don't come out of another dimension. They're in our dimension. And
That's interesting.
yeah, no, well, of course. But we have a book the second month about shadow people. So I don't know. I haven't read that. Yeah, I haven't read that book yet. Maybe that will, change my mind. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't read that one yet. I'm still working on the one for this month. So
yeah, and I am in conversations with this gentleman. He's actually really close to the store.
good.
So we will most likely be able to get him to be there.
Oh, good. Perfect.
And sign some copies for everybody.
Perfect.
Let's see. Do you ever, Jeff asked, do you find that you are sometimes drawn to take action without somebody asking first?
Very, very few times do I do that. I see a ghost messing with a kid. You betcha I'm going to jump in. Or an animal. Yes, I am. I jumped in when a ghost was making a flight attendant crazy by knocking over everything in the galley. Yep, I did jump in on that one. Jumped in at a restaurant because the ghost kept leaving the big refrigerator door open and the manager kept yelling at the waitstaff for doing it. No, jumped in on that. But 9 times out of 10, I do not.
Westies says, how do you tell the difference between earthbound spirits and a spirit who has passed over and is just visiting?
Well, number one, the earthbound spirits I can see. And I can't see ones that crossed over. I'm not even aware of the ones that crossed over. I see the ones that crossed over like all of you do in my dreams. I can't see them or talk to them unless I'm in my dream, in a dream. Mm-hmm. But earthbound ones, yeah, those are the ones that I see and talk to.
Joe says, why, or asks, why can one person in the house see a spirit in the house, but the other person can't, although it occurred in the same room?
How come you have two kids and one can play the piano beautifully and the other one even hits the keys off tune? It's what you are capable of doing, and that's just the way that works. And from what I've been able to gather over the years, it is usually one adult in the house that is aware of this until it's pointed out to the person. And unless you have kids, because kids are good, kids can usually see them until they're 5, 6, 7 years old.
Mm. Whoops, the questions are jumping here. Amanda asks if you can make the white light through Zoom.
I cannot. Nope. I have to be there to make a white light. I can tell you where it is, but I can't close it or make anybody walk through it.
And then she says, I've tried to make the white light by visualizing it like Marianne said, but it didn't work. I guess you need to have the gift.
I don't know. I think that you can learn to visualize. And obviously, I visualize really good because I can just look at any blank wall and make a big white light on it. But don't forget, I've been doing this for over 70 years. So it would be like breathing for me. If you read a lot of books or know people that can do this, sometimes it takes practice. But why would you want to be able to create the white light if you can't see the ghost?
I mean,
why?
Right?
Yeah, I don't understand why. Right.
Janelle says, if I wind up separated from my quinseed, but you have cleared and seeded my house, does the negative energy stay outside when I return home?
Unless it was actually put on you, yes. But if you didn't have your seed on you and somebody zapped you when you were outside of the house, then that will be with you until it's taken off.
And then Heather asked, do you think it's possible for negative energy to linger in an area where violence has occurred in the past? I'm thinking of stone tape theory. Perhaps the trees or stones in the area can capture the energy of past events.
When I went to New York 9/11, that area had a lot of negative energy in it just from the pain of everything that happened there. Same thing when I was in Oklahoma and went to the Oklahoma City bombing. It was the same thing. So I think it can, but I do tell people when I clear their houses, so many people, which is terrific. They're so into stones and, crystals and all of that. You have to keep this in mind. If you've got earthbound spirit in your house or negative energy in your house, your stones are picking up on that. And all that stuff has to be cleansed on a really regular basis. And after I clear a house, that's definitely what people should do. Run around and get your stones and cleanse them so that none of that lingers. Eventually it would wear off with the object, the ghost gone or the curse taken off. But you can move it along if you cleanse your stones.
Let's see. For people that do energy work with stones, it's important to keep these cleansed on a regular basis.
The same thing, some people that do tarot card readings, you shuffle your cards and you lay them out. But how many of you hand your deck to your client and say, you shuffle the cards? Or you shuffle them and you hold them up and you say, pick 4. If your client is touching your cards, you need to cleanse them because there's going to be residue lingering from client to client. That's why a lot of people have more than one deck of cards. You may like people are particular. They like a certain kind of card.
Mhm.
It doesn't hurt to have more than one deck of them. They should be cleansed after every day you use them. They should be wrapped in silk, and they should be stored until you need them again. And when you get a brand new deck of tarot cards, you don't know who touched those cards when they were being made, who packaged those cards in their little boxes.
Mhm.
So that all needs to be cleansed. And if you want those cards to work for you, you have to sleep on them. Put them under your pillow for 3 days. Otherwise, you're not going to get accurate readings.
I'm just kind of smirking because the few decks that I have, they're not in silk. They're in the box that they came in. um, and then the other part of me is going, what about the molecular structure of silk makes that so sought after?
I don't know.
Like the science behind the silk for this, but mine are in the boxes they come in.
No, it was really funny when I used to go around, when Ted and I would go around looking for stuff when I had the Curse workshop. And it was so crazy. You would go through these huge garage sales, or where they had these huge flea markets in fairgrounds. I mean, building after building after building. It's pretty amazing. Old tarot cards that are for sale on these tables, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole if they weren't wrapped in silk.
Oh, see, that's not something that would bother me.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah, because I like the artwork on older cards.
Yeah, I when my mother died, I didn't even know she had a deck of tarot cards. Go figure. So, but they were wrapped in silk, and she bought them in the 50s.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
So there's a few questions in here about, recommendations for cleansing stones and then cleansing cards.
Okay, as far as the stones go, if your stones can go into water, there are some stones that cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Opal, is that one that can't go into sea salt water?
It can go into water. I
But
wouldn't do
not
sea salt water. And
Right.
if you have opal jewelry, especially rings, take them off before you wash your dishes, before you're in the shower. The soap will damage your opal.
Yeah, opals are funny, but if you could do that, or you can get a pie plate and put sea salt on the bottom of it. Put your crystals, whatever you're trying to cleanse, put them in the sea salt. Put that pie plate outside so that it's on the ground, and try to do it on a new moon or a full moon. Leave them out there overnight. Cover the dish, because raccoons or birds or somebody are going to steal your stones. So you don't want to do that. And that's good. In your cards, the little box that the cards come in, put a few grains of sea salt in it. And again, putting that sea salt in and wrapping them in the silk is what I was told to do. It seems that will cleanse them.
Let's see. Renee is kind of like me. She's like, they're in their boxes. Because my thought for me, and Marianne, you know this from when I worked at the bookstore too. My OCD with the cards, I don't want them bent, split. So keeping them in the box rather than wrapped in flimsy silk is going to protect the edges, especially if they're gilded. Because I'm also that nut that I don't break the spines on my books either.
No, I don't either. Right.
Mass markets from 10 years ago, other than the yellowing on the outside, look brand new. And I've read them. That's
but maybe that's why it's silk. What are cards? 2 inches by 3 inches? Is that
depending?
Approximately? Do you know that's not even the size of a lady's hanky? I mean, if you think about it, you could have a piece of silk as big as a Kleenex.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in half, put your cards inside. This is thin enough. It's going to fit in your box and keep your cards fine.
True, but I just never.
Yeah, you don't need a yard around it. You just need enough to cover them. So.
Right. But I don't read cards for other people either.
Well, and that's fine then. Then you don't have to
So,
do that. Right.
so Amanda, where is it? I know she's like, beware the Ouija boards in the store. You know how many I have, and we don't have a problem.
But you're not using them in the store.
No. The only time they ever have was during a physical mediumship demonstration, and there was the demonstration with the board. There was also taking a cup upside down, and back and forthing, table walking, table tipping. Yeah, we don't have the issues we ever have in the store is if the humans are in the store past our allotted time of the spirits of the store. You'll hear knocking on the windows or on the glass of the display cases. And, it's pretty much like humans are done, go home. It's our time now.
Right.
And I just kind of chuckle. It doesn't bother me if there's students lingering that aren't taking the hint to leave. When that starts happening, they're like, oh, and I'm like, yes, store wants you out, go home. So, but
A Ouija board, the houses are totally secure once I leave. The seeds are up everywhere. And there are 2 ways, well, 3 ways actually, that you could, where those seeds would be totally useless. One way would be having a terrible fight in the house with somebody or something violent happening in the house and you still blow open a portal. That's a possibility. The second thing that could happen is you could be using a Ouija board in a house. And if it's strong enough, somebody could come in, an earthbound spirit could come in from where that energy is going up to, which usually means somewhere through the roof. But somebody just plays with it one time, or a 10-year-old, but you get a group of 15, 16-year-old girls and they're all messing with it. I don't know if that would be enough to, bring somebody in or not. And a couple of times after a house was totally cleared, and it happened in your store, that there's a reader that is not, well, let's put it this way, maybe they're not as good as they should be. And however they're working, whatever energy they're working, that has blown open a portal. So, there's, nothing is ever 100%, but why push it?
Right. Reiki, Robin says she uses Reiki for cleansing. You can use that for stones. You can use that for cards, anything really. And like Christine says, she passes her cards through smoke.
Okay, that would work too.
I know some readers will like shuffle and knock on them with the intent that the vibration is loosening anything falling off.
Heard of that. Okay.
But for a lot of readers, especially if they're reading back to back, that's why they're constantly shuffling in between people. They're reworking those cards and dispersing. So they say.
Right.
Now I know when, I've done energy work for more than one person back to back. I'm one of those weirdos that you'll see me spitting Florida water and doing some sound quickly because I don't have the time to sit there and set up something real quick and go harder. It's a lot of noise and spitting Florida water. But let's see. Goth says he considers Reiki to be the best protection. Do you consider Reiki protection energy or more of a healing, cleansing energy?
No, once you've got the problem, you can use the Reiki. But Reiki is not going to get rid of the ghost. And Reiki is not going to protect your house 24/7. Reiki is the solution to the problem.
Let's see. Amanda saying, how a Ouija board can open a portal, but so can a lot of other things.
Oh, yeah.
Pendulums?
Pendulum, thank you. Yes.
I understood your sign language.
I'm spinning it around here and the word's not coming to me. Pendulum is another one. Right. That's another one that has a tendency where that could happen.
And Renee, back to the silk, said, could you put silk scarf around the outside of the box?
Yeah, I think that probably would work. There you go. There's your answer, Melissa. That'll work.
That cabinet here, this door, there's
Yes.
probably about like 10 decks in there. And I'm just going to be straight up honest. I am too lazy to go 10 things of string.
Well, 10 decks, you probably could just get one long piece
Arm,
and
yeah,
put them all in.
like a bag of holding.
That's right.
Let's see.
And that's funny because somebody, I guess I forgot about that. Somebody did make a bag with a drawstring out of silk to put their cards in. That reminded me. Thanks, Renee. That reminded me. That's good.
Well, I'm just thinking about the one reader, Dawn, who you know Dawn as well. And this man walks around with like a duffel bag. He comes to every psychic fair with a duffel bag with double-digit count of decks in this bag. And his are just in the boxes too. And he sets that bag down and it's a thunk. And then he'll, like intuitively pick out maybe 3 or 4 decks for the day and let the client pick which one they want their reading with. And sometimes he'll be like, none of these are for you. And he'll shuffle down in there, pull up another. But he's got, I think the last time I asked him, he was around the 300 mark in decks.
Oh, my word.
He is a walking cartomancy encyclopedia and collector because he'll buy decks just because he collects the artist or it's a theme, and then his wife has her own set on top of his. And sometimes they have the same deck, but he's not allowed to touch hers.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So he's really interesting. He's got another Lenormand class because he also reads Lenormand. So he's got his tarot cards, and then he has his Lenormand cards. But he just walks in with this big black duffel bag, and it just thunks on the floor. And I'm like, good thing those are in the boxes because they'd be all beat
all
to
messed up big time. Yeah. I'll be darned. I didn't know he had that many.
Yeah. If there's ever a deck that you want to know what the artwork looks like, Don probably has it.
He knows. Okay. Cool.
Let's see. Oh, will sleeping with a silk blanket keep you safe at night?
I don't think so. And it'll make you really hot. I don't think it would work. I mean, silk pillowcases are supposed to keep your hair in place.
Oh, really?
I don't know what a silk blanket's going to do.
Other than snag on everything. No, that's satin.
No, that wouldn't snag on silk.
Yeah. Oh, and Christine knows on. I love him. Let's see. Never mind the cat complaining about food.
I heard him.
Yes, he's come up a few times and did this stretching up to
I need to eat. Feed me, Mom. Right.
Because of course he wants to eat now.
Yeah.
Not 2 hours before now.
That's right.
Now. So here's a good question. Joe says he forgot about the law of abundance check on Saturday. Should he still kind of fill one out now that he's thinking about it with the intention, I'm still going to welcome.
It wouldn't hurt. Go ahead and do it. Even people that miss the exact time right, still go ahead and do it. It just works the best if you do it before it peaks.
Oh, good theory. Heather says, I wonder if the slippery texture of silk makes it hard for negative energy to stick to the deck of cards.
Good idea. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Let's see.
Good reason.
Because Rhonda is like, silk is totally natural, tight fiber, and maybe that's why. So it's so...
It is, and I think that's why it's silk.
Let's see. We love kitties. He's a little attention whore. He loves pets and rubs. And he's one of the few cats that if you start petting his side, he'll kind of slowly roll over. So you're petting his belly too. So
one of my boys will do that. The blob.
The blob.
The blob. Bob the blob. Yeah, he will.
Hi. Can a medium open a portal? Sometimes they call a specific spirit and someone else comes through. It's
I don't understand why a medium would even think about
so
opening a portal. I'm. This is throwing me. I don't. What are you getting out of this one, Melissa?
I think there's like maybe a little bit of confusion on how mediums get their people that they're talking to. There's no portal that's open to talk to those that have crossed over. These are loved ones who are there with the purpose to speak. So we've had times where the dead person shows up before the living, and the medium's like, there's already a Joe Bob here, who wants to talk to so and so, or blah blah blah.
Or
There's
I
no
would guess that when they walk through the door, that who's ever their loved one is with them, and that's what the medium picks up on.
yes.
I don't
Because
think mediums have to call anybody in.
no, and there's the catch, right? There's no mediumship telephone. If a person swears to you and guarantees to you that they can absolutely connect to that one person that you want to hear from, they are fibbing. I have the option not to answer the phone. The person on the other side has the option to not answer that request for whatever reason. So you're not always guaranteed to hear from Uncle Joe or Mama Cass, but maybe, Aunt so-and-so or your best friend from third grade is there with a message for you. But there's no guarantee. Now, 9 times out of 10, are you going to hear from somebody that means yes?
Oh yeah, I agree. They'll come up with somebody, but they're not calling them in. That's the wrong vernacular to say that. That's not what they're doing.
Right. Oh, and she's like, okay, I was talking about interference. Now, here's a fun thing. Sometimes, Greg, and he'll do seances, and his seances are very tame. There's none of the knocking and this and that, because between his protection and I keep my store locked down, that's not going to happen. But sitting at this table, you will have certain participants who have family members that want to monopolize the whole time. And my job usually is I'm sitting at the end and I'm grounding it, and I am pushing away some of these people, these dead people who have already given a message 4 times. And my thing is, there are other people who paid to be here. You've given your message, back up. It's more of like an attention hog than spitefulness. So it's a pushing of away. There have been a couple times, twice, where there was a certain lady who had passed, and she just kept overbearing all of the message work. And I shut it down so hard that Greg immediately went, oh, that's it, we're done, they're gone. I'm like, oops. Well, we were at the end of the 2 hours anyway. But at least when our events are going on, it's not anything malicious. It's you have that overbearing person that wants to hog all the time.
And see, that's exactly what happens when somebody brings home a brand new baby. Everybody that crossed over is hanging around that baby to see the brand new baby. And that's why you have on the little monitor, the baby monitor, thousands of orbs. It's like, what's going on in that nursery? That's when you walk in and you say, you've got to leave her alone. So, and they have to listen to you from the light. They have to listen to you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, Ron is like, go feed the kitty, we're late. He's fine. He's probably got food in there still, and the fact that he can see a hole in the bottom of his dish.
The boys will scream for food. You go down there, and there's 5 kibbles left, just in case, so they don't starve to death. They leave 5 kibbles.
They're funny little things. Coins and Ghoul says, I have a friend whose daughter may be being tormented by a spirit. She has been touched, watched, and can't sleep. Will the dream bag help her? And what age is for the Zoom?
Okay, Zoom is 18 and over. And if you're buying the dream bag to use exactly for sleeping, there is a quinseed in each dream bag. And I put that in there because if you've got an earthbound spirit in your bedroom while you're sleeping, they can't get in your dreams, but they can make your dreams really bizarre. very loud, very like 3D. I mean, bad. So, and if you're trying to go to sleep and talk to somebody that's crossed over, if you've got an earthbound spirit in the room, that could stop that from happening. So I put a seed in each dream bag so that at least while you're sleeping, any ghost will stay 3.5, 4 feet away from you. So your answer is yes, the dream bag will help if they leave the seed in it. But so many people are buying the dream bags to take the seeds out to put over the doors once the house is cleared. So if you use the dream bag the way it's supposed to be used, yes, it will help.
Let's see. and Zoom is 18 and over.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on sleep paralysis?
If it happens in children, teenagers and children, that is usually connected to an earthbound spirit. But sleep paralysis could, with adults, oh, this is, well, how much time? No. Could be.
I have till 2:30 when I got to go do maneuverability.
Yeah, no, not happening. No. But it could, if adults in the house, if your sleep paralysis is losing time, in other words, if you took a nap, you lay down in the living room to take a nap at 1 PM and you don't wake up till 3. Okay, you couldn't move. That may be alien, not sleep paralysis. So
you just
and that's why I looked. We've only got 10 minutes left, so we're not going to go totally crazy nuts over that. So,
well, I just put lotion on. I'm trying to rub this in. There's actually some talk about that in here. Like, are they the shadow people, stuff like that in here?
Okay.
And there's some good medical, like listening from the DSM-5s and stuff about it. So,
and that is the book for the second month. After that, there will be books that you guys recommend. Let us know what you want us to discuss.
Right.
If you've read a really good
sending in.
Right. If you've read a really good book on one of the things that we talk about, let us know. Share it. Let everybody get in on it.
Mm-hmm. Karen says her yellow cat will bite her toes if she doesn't feed him by 9.
Oh my gosh. Combat boots.
Let's see. This is true, Brooke. Good point. Brooke says the parents of the child could do the Zoom. Marianne would probably get what she needs. So you could give them the information.
Oh, yeah. No, I could tell in your house if there's something that is bothering the kids. The kids just can't be in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we're talking or standing outside the door listening. But yeah, no, we can absolutely. We've done how many Zooms where the kids are in the house somewhere?
Right.
Yeah, no.
Rhonda says, I gotta say I get the best, deepest sleep with the dream bag in my pillowcase. My husband notices the difference as well.
There are things in that bag that are really do help people that have insomnia. And yes, there's lavender in it, so that's one of the things, but there's a bunch of other stuff in there too. And so, but it really does help.
Heather calling me the paranormal bouncer because of clearing out the sand. I'm like, no, we're done here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're almost done, and I don't have any new questions. I think I found everybody or put them up. We are missing Lewis again, Mr. Lewis, and I
know he must be very, very busy with school.
Let's see. So again, the next Zoom session, the link is there on the screen. That link is the same link that will work every time we have a Zoom. So if you're listening to this later and we're still doing Zooms, it will still work for you. We have 6 spaces left as of right now, and then we'll open up the next one, which will be on a Monday night. So we do one Friday and one on a Monday. Hopefully everybody's schedules to work. That next one will be on the 23rd. So, but again,
on Sunday, the 29th, I will be at the store at the Goddess Elite.
Yes.
For a meet and greet. And the store, everything for my store will be there. So come on in and see us. And that is your psychic fair too.
Yes,
So
yes.
a lot of
So
good stuff to do. So come and see. We have the seminary coming up in June.
on the 18th, we have the 5 to 8 time slot available and the 10 to 1 a.m. So you get to pick which time works best for you. Do you want it a little more daylight or do you want it darker and spookier? So there's some times available there to join us.
The last thing, and Melissa, hold your ears. I'm just giving a heads up. Mercury retrograde starts the 10th. So just so you know, it's over on the 31st of May. So that's 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde coming up in.
Oh, Renee, you know what? He is local, so I'm sure I can. I've got to finish conversation. I think he said he lives in like North Ridgeville. Like he's really close to me.
He's really close.
He's like 3 miles down the road. Yeah. So as long as he's not traveling, I'm sure I can get him to do this. So yeah.
Where is he going to go on a Tuesday night?
Yeah. Well, he could be cooler than me and out traveling around.
No, I don't think so.
Robin says yesterday was National Paranormal Day. I did not get alerted to that. Now I feel left out and kind of salty about it.
Didn't know that either.
How dare I not know? Let's see. Karen, oh, good. Mercury retrograde.
Oh, yeah. Just remember,
Let's see. Evangelist says, I wish I lived close by so I could attend the events. But you can at least still do the book club because we're going to have a Zoom link available for that one. And I'm probably going to put it out around the 10th or 12th so it doesn't get confusing for the Zoom link for the in-home sessions.
Why don't you do that Zoom after the 13th?
After the 13th? Okay.
Because the book club is the 17th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll give enough time. Because, 2 Zooms up there. No, that'll be a mess.
Now, see, Amanda's like, let's organize a visit to Area 51. And I'm telling you, we need a tour bus. We've talked about this briefly in past episodes. We get one of those double-decker luxury tour buses.
Yeah, Well, I know somebody that can drive Lolly the trolley, but I don't think I'd want to take a trolley out of the city.
No, my butt already hurts thinking about it.
Yeah, no, not happening.
Nope. But yes, if anybody's interested in joining for the book club, there will be the Zoom link and our Zoom participants will be able to talk back and forth. You'll be able to hear what's going on in person live. And depending on the flow, we may or may not be able to ask one of your Zoom questions out. So, but you'll definitely be able to talk with the other people in Zoom and that moderator. And so you'll be able to participate.
And you'll be able to hear the questions that the local people are asking, and yes to the tour. Oh my God.
And what about a touring RV?
Not big enough. I can tell you that much right now. So.
I think the 3 cats would need their own RV as it is. And
right.
You've got 2 and I've got
all
1.
in the back, right?
They're going to need cute little kitty cat, like ghost hunting vests. And
well, my boys are used to being dressed up because the little girls, when they lived next door, used to dress like girls, the boys up in their doll clothes all the time. So,
yeah. And they let them do it?
Till they were about 18 months old. Then they saw the girls and would go and run.
That's funny. I got Sith one of those wings, so he looked like, toothless because he's a black cat. And he like side-eyed me and just immediately sat down. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's Brooke's question real quick? It says, Marianne, have spirits ever led you to their bodies?
I had somebody show up, a DEA agent that had been killed so that the office could find his body. A lot of times when people are missing, a lot of times their spirit has led to where their body is. So yeah, it's not too frequent, but it has happened.
So, Karen, the current book is Spiritual Cleansing. I don't have my copy near me.
I would show you mine, but it's a different cover.
Yeah. If you are local and if you come into the store, we actually have it on a shelf with a sign about the book club. Otherwise, if you want to give a call, we can get you squared away. But it's only like $16.99. It's
It's a little bitty book.
yeah,
There's nothing to it.
back. Let's
And I
see.
figured out how to hide my rolling eyes. I'll just wear sunglasses.
There you go. No. I think we should make this a drinking game, everyone. Every time Marianne rolls her eyes, we take a shot.
Oh my God. I've created alcoholics now.
Okay, our last question here from Melody. About a year ago, I saw a red devil being coming towards me as I was just waking up. As soon as I called out Jesus's name, he scrambled away in fear. Was it possibly a Jersey devil?
Enough people have seen that Jersey Devil. I wouldn't say that it doesn't exist, even though I have never seen it. When we were driving through New Jersey, there are some really weird pockets of energy there. So maybe him and Bigfoot hang out together. I don't know.
We're playing poker in the back.
Got it.
Brooke says to wear sunglasses to hide the shade.
Yeah, right.
You can get dream bags from Marianne's website, mariannewinkowski.com, or if you're local and if you want to come in when she's in the store, the 29th from like 1 to 5.
I will have stuff at the book clubs too, the third Tuesday of each month. Ted will be there with stuff from the store. And the dream bags will definitely be there on the 17th. So,
yeah. So a couple different ways. I don't have Marianne's stuff in store. You got to go through Marianne for them.
It was just too hard to keep track of everything. It was just easier this way. So
that's right. Man, this is everything in New Jersey is weird, including the pot handle.
Yeah. You said it. We didn't.
Joe can confirm.
Oh, that's where you live, huh, Joe? Okay.
I've got family from New Jersey, so I mean, the first time driving out there, I was like, "What in the world is this?" In certain parts.
The best thing about New Jersey is what's her name? Plum. Stephanie Plum is the best thing about New Jersey.
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about?
I think I have one of the Ivanovich books over here.
That's right.
That's right. Make me dust off my old bookstore knowledge here.
Right.
All right, everybody. Well, Marianne, you have your 5:30 YouTube again later today.
Yep.
Every Wednesday, it's a different topic.
Every topic. There's so many of them now. I think there's over 200 of them now. Most of them are titled. So if you need information about a specific subject, you can probably find it on YouTube for sure. But yeah, there's some interesting letters today. Like I said, they're murders today. So,
Are you going to do that one picture that was in your book? Are you showing that one, the OJ picture?
I am not. I think it would be too hard to see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that one would be too hard to see.
We should put that one up one of these days and
see if
we can see it.
Well, when we get enough pictures from people, maybe we can include the pictures in with that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that'll work.
And Vangela says, I am still waiting on the letters.
Actually, I was just looking at one yesterday and I put it in that pile. There's not quite enough there. I need about 2 more crazies before I can do that one. I will tell you this, for those of you that heard Coast to Coast this past weekend. I have since Saturday morning when I was on from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. live with George at Coast to Coast. Since Saturday night. And the heck of it is, he talked ghosts. We never talked about negative energy or curses. He does either one or the other. He doesn't like to mix the two when I'm on. So this was ghosts. The next one will be curses whenever that one happens. And but because I want to know how that's possible, maybe somebody out there knows. I have gotten 47 now, 47 collect calls from prisons across the United States since I was on Coast to Coast. Now they have to have an operator, and the operator does leave a message. This is the operator. I am calling from Lompoc Prison in California. An inmate and his name wants to talk to you. The message is, and the prisoners will leave a message. They sort of average this. I've killed 3 people, but the curse made me do it. Can you help me? So they're all there because they have curses.
Funny when people don't want to take responsibility for their actions, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, here's my question. Why do these people that are in prison have telephones?
I'm sure they have to sign up for time.
Yeah, but some of these calls came in like 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock your time, maybe what, midnight their time if they're calling from California?
And they let the prisoners use the phone at midnight? I don't know. At any rate, so I think that's one of the downsides of being on George's show.
So there's a couple of people saying that they would like to share pictures with us of their spookiness. Go ahead and email it to goddessdelitellc@gmail.com. Sooner than better, because I've got to download everything and then like format it and then re-upload it into a format that I can use here for streaming. So please don't wait till like late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning to send me stuff, because I just won't have time to do it. There won't be enough coffee in me Wednesday morning
to do it.
do that. Good point, Amanda. She goes, I don't think a curse would stand up in court as a defense. Although there was that one guy whose whole defense was that he was possessed by the devil, and that was what the last Conjuring, which sucked, movie was on.
Right.
Or not Conjuring. Was it The Conjuring? The Ed and Lorraine.
I didn't see that.
That's how bad it was.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
No, we just binged Ozark and finished that.
I'm in the 2nd season, but have you heard of Shining Vale?
No, what is that?
Lady from Friends, I forget her name, but this family is moving into this old mansion that they buy. And they're going to tell you this like in the first 5 minutes, so I'm not ruining anything, because she had an affair. Now, the whole thing is mental illness runs in her family, but the house is haunted and she's the only one seeing it. So it's this thing where she keeps going into therapy and she's like, I need more. It's not working. I'm still seeing things. But by the end of it,
is this a movie or a weekly thing?
It's a TV show. It was on Stars. You might be able to find it on other.
Okay. And it's called what?
Shining Vale.
Shining Vale. Okay.
Yes, Courtney Cox. Thank you, Brooke. So
that's who I thought. Shining Vale. That when I met Jennifer Love Hewitt for the first time, I had never seen anything she had ever been in. And in the studio, and when she said, when they said, there's love over there, I'm looking, I'm thinking, that's Jennifer Love Hewitt? Really? And here it turns out, I thought Courtney Cox was actually Jennifer Love Hewitt. I've never seen Friends.
Oh, okay.
And
I've
yeah, so it was like, oh my gosh, they certainly are not alike. But yeah, that's Courtney. Okay, I wrote it down. We'll see if we can find it.
And Karen thinks she might be. It might be on Hulu too. So.
Good, because I don't think we have Stars, do we, Ted? Oh, shows what I know we do.
Maybe.
Okay.
Hey, City. There's one of our missing friends, City, coming in
Hey,
late.
hi, morning.
Oh, and the Ghost on Thursday. I started watching it and I lost track of it. Ghosts. There's the American version that was because
No, I don't watch any of that. No.
the couple episodes I watched, like they implied that the one hippie ghost in the mansion loved the sage smell. So anytime they're burning sage, she's like, I love that, and she would follow them around. And I'm like, oh, Miriam would have a field day with that.
That's why I would throw a water bottle through my own TV.
But all right, guys. Make sure you join us next week. Tell more friends to join us.
Absolutely.
But,
And yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good week. Have a good Mother's Day, everybody.
Yes, that's already here.
Yes, it is a Sunday.
I need to go take care of that before we do maneuverability. Whoops.
Yep. Can't forget
Don't
her.
tell my mom.
No, you won't. Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.